Good morning everyone. Today we have to start with thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity, as we have discussed in last class, that there are three methods of transfer of heat. One is your conduction, then is convection, and third is radiation. Okay, these are the methods of transfer of heat. So we have to discuss thermal conductivity thing. Like basically conductivity means when heat can pass through any particular medium. So how heat is actually transferred in that medium, what is the coefficient of thermal conductivity that we have to calculate. For this, first we consider a rod, metal rod. Now let us heat one end of the rod. Now let us heat it up. We are giving it heat. Now what is happening? Suppose A is the hotter end and B is the colder end. So from A, like if we divide, suppose we divide it into different sections. Okay, we are dividing it into different sections. Now when you are heating it up, as we move towards the far off end, then the temperature of that part decreases. Reason being, the part which is very much close to this source of heat, that part has very much high temperature. Whatever heat it absorbs from here, then it will pass some amount of heat to the next cross section. Then some amount of the heat is lost due to radiation as well as due to convection. It may lose some heat due to radiation and convection. And whatever is left, that is passed to the next section. Similarly again, for the next section, it will absorb some part of heat. From that, some part is radiated, some part is that is also dissipated to the surrounding through convection. And then only next, the leftover part will go to the next section. So as we are moving towards the colder end, less heat is going to that end. It means the temperature of this end will be the lowest, temperature of this end will be the highest. Okay, such state of the rod, this is called variable state, because the temperature of each state is going to differ. It is not constant. Like as it keeps on absorbing heat from the surrounding, then temperature of the each portion keeps on changing. It will be different from each other also, and even the individual temperature of any particular section that keep on increasing with time. So such state of rod is called variable state. Now suppose if you cover the whole rod with any insulating material, suppose it is enclosed in any insulating container, then here now no more heat is absorbed. Okay, so it will not lose any heat due to radiation or due to convection. Means whatever heat it will absorb, it will pass some heat to the next section. Then it will pass heat to the next section and so on. Means initially it was in this process. When you suddenly cover it, now what happened? Now there is no loss due to radiation and convection, but since the parts are already at a different temperature, like it is having high temperature, it is having less than this, it is having further less and further less. So it will be like that only, but now the temperature of each cross section is constant. Otherwise, the temperature along the length from the hotter to colder end, that decreases. Temperature is decreasing. But the temperature of individual part is constant. Because for the individual part, like अगर आप इतना cross section देखते हो, suppose इसने जो heat gain करी है, that will be equal to heat loss to the next part. Means its own temperature will remain same. So this particular section will act as isothermal section. Because here the temperature will remain constant. Similarly, this section will act as isothermal section. So this is how, like, different parts, they are at constant temperature, but the temperature keeps on lowering down as we are moving from the hotter end to the colder end. So this change in temperature, whatever temperature is changing, suppose dt divided by change in temperature per unit distance, like with distance it is decreasing, so dt by dx, this term is called temperature gradient. And such state of rod, this is called steady state. Now for steady state, I am just drawing here another diagram. Suppose we are considering this cube. Okay, this is the steady state of the cube. Now here like studies cube, this is just one portion. Suppose I have cut one portion from here. Now this phase is, we assume that this is at temperature T1, this is at temperature T2, and T1 is greater than T2. Heat is flowing from this phase to this phase. Distance between both the phases is x. Area of each phase is A. A is the area of each phase. Okay, in that case, so whatever heat is flowing from one phase to another phase, that heat flow is directly proportional to the temperature difference. Higher is the temperature difference, more is the heat flow. Okay, then it is directly proportional to area of the surface. If the area is more, there will be more heat transfer. Okay, after that it is directly proportional to the time for which this heat flows. That is directly proportional to time taken, and it is inversely proportional to the distance between the two phases. If like distance is more, then the heat transfer will be less. So it is inversely proportional to x. When we combine all these four, T1 minus T2, A, T and X, when we combine all these, then we got this, that total heat flow, that is equal to, that is proportional to, you can say A T1 minus T2 into small t divided by x. When you remove the proportionality sign, there is a constant K. This constant K is called coefficient of thermal conductivity. This K is called coefficient of thermal conductivity. So how to define K? Like if A equals to 1 meter square, T1 minus T2 is equal to 1 Kelvin, and small t is equal to 1 second, then X is equal to 1 meter, then K is equal to Q. Means coefficient of thermal conductivity is equal to heat flow through a cube of unit volume, because area is 1 meter square, length is also distance, we are also taking 1. Okay, so thermal conductivity is equal to heat flow through a unit cube or cube of unit volume when its opposite phases are kept at a temperature gradient of, or you can say a temperature difference of 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin, because this T1 minus T2 should also be equal to 1, means the temperature difference between the two phases, that is the equivalent to 1 degree Celsius. So we are taking this as 1, area as 1, time as 1, x as 1, then K is equal to Q. So it is the heat flow through a cube of unit volume. Why unit volume? Because area you have taken 1, and as well as the distance traveled, that is equal to also 1, because this is x is also equal to 1. So through a cube of unit volume when its opposite phases are kept at a temperature difference of 1 degree Celsius. T1 minus T2 की भी value लेनी है 1 degree Celsius. So this is how we can define K. From here we can write the units of K, that K is also equals to Qx over A T1 minus T2 into T. So you can define the units from here, that K units are joule, this is meter over meter square, T1 minus T2, that temperature degree Celsius minus 1 or Kelvin you can write. So I am writing here Kelvin minus 1, okay. And for this time it is seconds. So what are the units? It is joule per meter, then it is temperature difference, means K minus, sorry, temperature difference is K only, means the units will be Kelvin. So meter Kelvin into second. So it is joule per second per meter per Kelvin. So these are the SI units. Okay, so this is all about thermal conductivity. Now what is the importance of thermal conductivity, where it is used? So basically like in winters, now winters are coming, so in winters when you touch metal handle, then it appear cold to you. Reason being, Because your body is at high temperature. When you touch that metal handle, the energy from your body will transfer to that metal handle. That is why it appears cold to you as compared to wooden handle. Why not wooden appear cold? Because wood is an insulator of heat. It will not get any heat from your body. Okay, so that is why wooden handles are used. Generally, or wooden doors are used, then they are better. They don't appear to you cold. But if you sit on metal furniture, that will appear to you cold, because your body heat will flow into that. Similarly, there are more examples of thermal conductivity. Like ice is packed in sawdust, or the sacks जो होते हैं, बोरियां होती है आइस उसमें पास करते हैं, because they are having air pores, which are, air is bad conductor of heat. It will not let heat to pass through it, so it will not let sunlight to pass through it and keep the ice cool by keeping the temperature low. So like woolen clothes give us warmth. Why? Because woolen has small holes in it. Moreover, it is insulator of heat, so it will not let our body heat to go out. So these are the examples of thermal conductivity. After that, there are like few concepts. You have to learn only basics about them. Like first is your black body radiations. Now what is black body radiations or black body? What is perfectly black body? That when you incident any light on it, then it will absorb all the light, but it will reflect nothing until you heat it up. Okay, so a perfectly black body, like it is of this kind, a narrow opening with a metal, a narrow opening, but this is all coated black, and here is a pin shape. What happens when light falls on the black body? It will absorb all the lights because of multiple reflection. So here multiple reflection keeps on taking place, and it will not let the light to go out. There is no light coming out of it. That is why it appears to be black. So in black body, whenever light enters, then it will get absorbed by the black body because of multiple reflection. Means black body will absorb each and every radiation which falls on it, but it will emit the radiations only when you heat it up. Because when you heat it up, then in case these radiations, whatever energy radiation it has observed, it will start radiating or absorb. It will start radiating all those radiations. Okay, so these radiations are called black bodies radiations. Fine. Now how you can define, like there is one law also after that, that is Stefan-Boltzmann law. Stefan-Boltzmann law. Because this is related to black body radiation, so I am discussing this first. Stefan-Boltzmann law. Now what is Stefan-Boltzmann law? So basically energy, it is that energy radiated, I am just writing E. This E means what? It is energy radiated per second per unit area. Okay, so for a black body, the energy radiated per second per unit area is directly proportional to 4th power of temperature. This was the Stefan-Boltzmann law based upon their observation that energy radiated is directly proportional to 4th power of its temperature for a black body. When you remove here proportionality sign, there comes a constant called sigma. This is your Stefan's constant, and its value is sigma. When you remove proportionality sign, there is a constant sigma t raised to power 4. This is your Stefan-Boltzmann law, where sigma is constant of proportionality, called Stefan's constant also, and its value is 5.67 into 10 raised to power minus 8 joule per second meter minus 2 Kelvin minus 4. Now you will say how from there where this second and meter minus 2 has come, because this is what energy radiated per second per unit area, and when you have to calculate sigma, it is obviously E divided by T4, that is why this Kelvin minus 4. Okay, so this is all about Stefan-Boltzmann law. The only thing is you have to write the statement, you have to learn the statement that energy radiated by a black body is directly proportional to 4th power of its temperature. And when you remove the proportionality sign, there is a constant sigma called Stephen's constant, and its value is fixed. Okay, so this is all about black body radiations. Then there is greenhouse effect. Now what is greenhouse effect? Basically, it will keep the temperature of earth warm during night also. It will keep the earth warm. So this is required also, greenhouse effect. Now what happened? Whatever sun radiations are coming to earth is absorbing them, but then it re-radiate them in the form of alpha radiations. These are IR radiations. These are the sun radiations. When they are absorbed by the earth, now earth has to release some kind of radiations, so they are IR radiations. But these IR radiations get reflected by the clouds, the low-lying clouds, and ultimately when IR will fall back on the earth, heat is generated. Means the atmosphere remain hot during night time even. So greenhouse effect helps to maintain the earth warm even during at night. Okay, so greenhouse effect basically control the temperature of the earth. After that, last law which you have to discuss is Wien's displacement law. Wien's displacement law is, again, it is like based upon when we heat up any object, then the wavelength, like certain radiations are emitted. Then the wavelength of those radiation emitted, it is directly proportional to 1 by T, or you can say it is inversely proportional to temperature. The wavelength of radiation emitted is inversely proportional to temperature. Okay, now when you remove here proportionality sign, it is B into T. So this is B is equals to lambda by T. This is called your Wien's constant. Okay, so this is your Wien's constant, and its value is also constant, that is around 2.9 into 10 raised to power minus 3 meter Kelvin. This is the value of Wien's constant. Now why is it important? This law is important. From here it is clear that lambda is inversely proportional to temperature. Okay, but we also know that C is equals to nu lambda. So frequency will be equals to C divided by lambda. Or you can say lambda is C divided by mu. So we can put here the value of lambda, that is C divided by nu, that is proportional to 1 over T. Or you can say here from this relation that frequency is proportional to temperature. So it means if we multiply both sides by H, here is proportionality sign. So here is, this is energy. So energy is directly proportional to temperature. Means higher is the temperature, higher is the energy, but lower is the wavelength, because it is inversely proportional to temperature. Means if the wavelength radiated by any substance is having low wavelength, it means temperature of that substance is very, very high. So this is the importance of Wien's displacement, because here basically wavelengths from the center of the sun, they are measured. So that wavelength comes out to be of low wavelength. It means the surface temperature of sun for the inner core is very, very high. From this Wien's displacement law, we can calculate the temperature. Spectrum of sun is studied, where there the wavelengths are studied, and that is inversely proportional to temperature. From there the temperature is calculated. That will give you the temperature for the sun. Okay, so this is all about the topics. Always remember, like for the black body radiations, the radiations emitted doesn't depend upon the nature of the material. It only depends upon the temperature. What is the temperature of the object? Everywhere, like even in Wien's displacement, it depends upon the temperature. How higher is the temperature of the object? So it depends only on that. Okay, so this is all about the thermal properties of metal. Thank you and have a nice day.